Hi guys, it's Steve from Disruptive Wealth Creation. Today we're talking about the race to space. So who's going to get to space first? Will it be Jeff Bezos from Blue Origin, or will it be Richard Branson from Virgin Galactic? Today, we're lucky to have Kay from Invest for Tomorrow with Kay. So basically what we're going to do is I'm going to do a quick summary and just explain a little bit about Jeff Bezos and Blue Origin. And then Kay's going to tell us what Richard Branson is doing with his company. So Blue Origin. Blue Origin, where does that name come from? Well, Blue Origin is basically the name for the blue planet. And his company was founded in the year 2000. And what Jeff Bezos is trying to do, his mission is basically to make it cheaper and more accessible to go into space. Okay, and he's got a really amazing motto, and his motto is step by step ferociously, which it is quite interesting. But anyway, a lot of what Jeff Bezos does is kind of strange because it has lots of double meanings. So for example, Jeff Bezos has said that he wants to go into space on the 20th of July. Well, the 20th of July is the anniversary of the 52nd anniversary of the moon landing. So that is obviously a special day, and he must have chosen that for that reason. The next thing about Jeff Bezos is he has a capsule, and the capsule's called New Shepard. So why is it called New Shepard? Well, because the first American that went into space was called Shepard. So that's where that comes from. So if we take a closer look at the company, basically, around about the year 2018, the plan was to actually send people up into space. But unfortunately, there have been lots of sort of delays, things have gone wrong, not quite worked out. And from what I understand, within the last sort of few weeks or months, they've had loads of different sort of tests. And then Jeff Bezos now feels confident enough to send passengers up into space, including himself. So that's how confident he is. The capsule will have 6 people in the capsule, and he's taking his brother with him. And he's also taking one person. And this person is somebody who's had to bid to get onto the capsule. And basically what happened was a few days ago, there was a bidding war, and the person who obviously bid the highest amount was told that they could go. And at the end of my video, I will tell you how much they actually paid to get on that flight up into space. So a little bit about the rocket and how it works. Basically, the technology is a vertical takeoff and it's a vertical landing. And you have a capsule, and underneath the capsule, you have a rocket, a booster, and that sends the rocket up into space. So what happens is when it gets to about, let me just see, I've got my notes here somewhere. When we get to about 250,000 feet, what happens, the capsule then detaches from the rocket booster, and the rocket booster comes back down to Earth, okay? The capsule carries on for another 100,000 feet until it gets to about 350,000. And then it gets to a place. And can you remember what the name of that place is?
Is it stratosphere? No, right?
Yeah, I think it's called, begins with the letter K. The Karma line, that's what it's called. It's called the Karma line. So this is kind of, this is like on the edge of space, I guess. And at that point, the passengers in the capsule are able to take off their seatbelts, and they can look out the window and they can float around for 3 minutes. After the 3 minutes are up, seatbelt back on and back down to Earth. The whole episode apparently takes about 11 minutes. So it's not long, but it's probably going to be a lifetime experience, okay? And so that kind of gives you a flavor of what's going to happen. And then, of course, you've got the 3 parachutes that come down. It drops in the desert. Hopefully, it has a soft landing because the bottom of the capsule has got some kind of cushion base on it. So that's how it all comes together, and that's all how it works. And as I've said, the 20th of July is the date for this launch. Now, there have been rumors that Richard Branson might be going up. So this is where you take over, Kay, and give us a bit of background about Virgin Galactic and what your thoughts are.
Thank you, Steve. This is Kay from Invest for Tomorrow with Kay, and I'm very excited for today's topic, as it's one of my favorite topics. So I'll start off with there are three most important people, I think, with Virgin Galactic, which we need to know. Of course, the first one everyone knows, it's our founder, which is Sir Richard Branson. For those who don't know, the company started back in 2004. Okay. And for Richard Branson, he owns about 60 Virgin businesses, with about, I would say, $21 billion approximately is the revenue across all his businesses. Along with, they are spread out in 35 countries. So it's a very, very important figure in Virgin Galactic's history. The second most important person is the Chamath Palihapitiya. If I hope I got his name right in the last. He's also called CP, for short form. Okay. So he's another very important figure because he was instrumental in bringing Spce or Virgin Galactic to public for trading, right? This is a monumental, an historical event for Spce, Virgin Galactic, to raise money from public and making a company accessible to investors like you and me, right? I think this is monumental. Like, unfortunately, we like SpaceX, we like Blue Origin, but we cannot buy stocks, right? Oh. So, and we are missing on that because by the time they become operational, they are into space, they come to public, we might not be able to afford. But anyways, keeping the valuation aside, so Chamath, he was an ex-Facebook engineer. So if you don't know, so he's a smart guy. He started his venture capitalist firm back in 2011. From there on, he has been called the king of SPAC. So SPAC is, for folks, special purpose acquisition vehicle. It's a blank check company. It merges with a company that wants to go public, and you can completely cut down on all the IPO, rulings and things you need to do, right? So he brought Virgin Galactic into, and it was called, I think, IPOA, if I'm not wrong. And the third most important figure, I think, and there are many other, but I wanted to choose these three, is the CEO of the company, which is Michael Colgalazier. I think I got his name right again. He comes from Disney, and you would ask, why is a space company hiring an executive who has no relation with the space, right? That's a very, very interesting question. So aside from Michael's childhood, when he wanted to go to space, I think all of us wanted to go to space at some point in time in our childhood. But what's more important is that there's a common thread between Disney and Virgin Galactic, and that is about how you can deliver a safe and enjoyable customer experience in space, right? So Disney does the same thing, right? If you go to Disneyland, you have all these roller coasters, you have all these different, activities. And who takes those activities? You from small children to people who are, old. And that experience has to be delivered in a safe environment. So that's why I personally feel that having somebody like from Disney, because you can already see the vision of where Virgin Galactic is going. It's not just taking people to space, it's the whole experience, right? And from there on, let me actually get into the customer-centric approach of Virgin Galactic. Now, when you are a Virgin Galactic customer, what does that mean to you, right? It means that there is a program in which you join. When you buy the Virgin Galactic ticket, you actually get to experience being an astronaut, right? So this is a full 3-4 days experience where, you will, on day one, they will welcome you will learn about, space, you will learn about what being an astronaut is. Second day, you will be, let me get my notes here quickly and I'll tell you what exactly they're doing. Yeah. So on day one, it's a welcome day. You basically join, there's a tour spaceport, you tour that area. They will get you, fitted in your suit. They will introduce you to the flight profile. You'll do some kind of a training, a very, very, very initial training. Second day is your real training that begins. Then you get to know the trainers, you get to sit on the seat, you get into microgravity preparation masterclass. So second day is all about cabin, Third day is actually a mock flight. So the space trainer will familiarize you with, how the flight will look like. You'll do a full dress rehearsal from beginning till end. And then there's some, last minute reviews of pre-flight. And day 4, you fly to space. There's a way after you come down, there'll be a wing ceremony. Then there'll be a party with your friends and family. So very, very, very interesting. And this whole experience, I think the space tourism, of course, initially it's going to be for the rich and wealthy, but I can see that maybe 20, 30, 40 years down the line, this will be something people like us, regular people, who will be saying, hey, you know what? I don't want to go to Bahamas. I don't want to go to Japan. No. I might just want to go to moon and come back, No, and if we can think it is possible, I'm pretty sure it's possible.
Yeah.
Now, quickly touching upon, I don't want to take too much time, but quickly touching upon the type of flight, and it's a little different from Blue Origin. There is 2 pieces of the flight itself. One is called the VSS Unity, which is the spaceship, right? That which will go up, right? And then the second one is called VMS Eve, which is a White Knight 2. Now, these are the world's largest composite aircraft in service. And the reason they're called Eve is because it's named after Richard Branson's mother, Eve. Yeah. And it's a very unique trait of the company is that they use a runway. So basically you have these 2 planes. You have the VSS Unity in the middle, and you have these 2 planes taking just like flying like a regular aircraft. So the unique selling point of Virgin Galactic is technically they can use any airbase across the world to take you to space. Unlike your SpaceX or Blue Origin, they need a specialized area, a specialized special purpose facility to take you off, right? So that's a big unique selling proposition from Virgin Galactic. And quickly, the way the flight will work is like it will take you to space. So when you will fly, right, at 50,000 feet, the spaceship will detach from the plane, right? And then it will slowly glide up to the space. And once it reaches that plane, they switch off the motors, right? They switch off the rocket and it will slowly glide. I think it's about few minutes or so. And that's when, the passengers can take off the belt. They will feel the weightlessness. They can fly within the flight. And then slowly, the goal is for the pilot is to show you the best view of Earth, right? So they will try to glide the spaceship in a way you can get the best view. And then it slowly comes down into the orbit, and then it will glide down to lower end of the atmosphere and come down at Earth. So that is how generally the idea of Virgin Galactic is. So it's a little different. It's a longer duration than Blue Origin for sure. And to be honest, I think from my research so far, the journey has been pretty tough for Virgin Galactic. They have had 2 accidents prior. One was in 2007 where the tanker exploded within that facility, and I think 3 people got killed. And then the worst one was the VSS Enterprise accident, which happened, I believe that was in 2014 or something like that. Unfortunately, the co-pilot, I think the pilot died. The co-pilot was severely injured. So things have not been like smooth, and space is a difficult. So that is a very general outline of Virgin Galactic.
Okay, that sounds great. Have you any idea of prices? Because what I'm going to reveal now is the price of the bidder. Now, that's not to say that everybody will have to pay this price, but this one person who bid to go up with Jeff Bezos and his brother paid $28 million. Okay. Plus the 6% commission to the auctioneer. So that's a lot of money. But so I don't know how much Jeff Bezos is going to be charging, but I believe that Richard Branson has some kind of ballpark figure now for prices, because does he not have a list of people that are ready to go up?
Yeah, so there are about 600, I would say buyers who have already bought the ticket. And I think that the average ticket price is between 200 and 250K. But okay. I personally feel that the prices will vary. I think initially because they want to attract a lot more people, maybe it's not that expensive. Yeah. But I think as soon as it becomes a commercial flight, at least for the short term, I see that it's going to become a little bit more expensive.
Yeah.
because you are not going to fly. You don't have that many spaceships, whether it's Blue Origin, SpaceX, or whatever. It's going to be 1 or 2 spaceships which are going to take you up. So I'm pretty sure in the short term it's going to be pretty. I think what I learned was it would be about 600K. That's a rumor going on. For now, people have bought it at between 200 and 250K, but it may go up to 600K.
Okay, so there's been a rumor to say that apparently Richard Branson might go up on the 4th of July. Do you think that's realistic, or is it possible? Could it happen?
Well, I think from rumor standpoint, it's definitely looking possible. And the interesting part is, like, when you are a billionaire, right? And it's your baby. You have Richard Branson has been working on it for so long, right?
Yeah.
They're right there, right? At going to space. But then suddenly somebody comes from behind. If you think about a race, right?
Yeah.
You are like, I'm going to win this race. I'm going to just run. I'm going to win it. And then suddenly you have somebody on your neck competing for that first spot. I think we are underestimating the competition. I think, as human beings, we are all competitive in nature, especially when you are a billionaire, because who went to space first will define. Do you remember who was the second person who landed on moon, or the third person?
Nobody knows. No.
I mean, if you're a history buff, maybe you will remember, but it's the first. Who is the first? And I think that is now whether he's able to do it or whether Jeff is able to do it, we don't know. Only time will tell. But I think it's they don't want to lose that opportunity.
No. Well, there's lots of considerations, and probably the most important consideration, obviously, is the safety aspect. But then, of course, you've got the weather conditions, and I think the thing about these kind of projects is, I think people have learned from experience, it's always better to be cautious, because if you have a major accident, that can set a project back 10, 20 years. I mean, I think this is what happened with NASA and going up into space. So it's worth waiting those extra couple of weeks or months, as long as you have a successful mission. So
I agree. Yeah.
So are we going to agree or disagree? Who do you think is going to go up first?
I personally feel we have more information about Richard Branson because it's a public company. Yeah. Unfortunately, we don't have enough information from Blue Origin's standpoint, right? We know for a fact that Jeff Bezos said, yes, I will go into space on July 20th.
Yeah.
Now there's a rumor that Richard Branson is going to beat him by going to space on July 8th. Now that's again a rumor, because that's when the second test flight is due. The problem I see with that is that the difference between the first flight and the second flight has been about 72 days for prep. That has been the general. But this time, if you're going on July 8th, it'll be about 44-day gap. Now, again, it is possible. But to be honest, as you said, it's a guess. Your guess is as good as mine.
Sure.
I personally feel Richard Branson is in a better spot because they have done these flights. They just had a successful flight. And I feel like he's closer. But again, we don't know weather condition. We don't know what can happen with the equipment. Will they be ready in 44, 45 days to take the next flight? Yeah. So it's a big question. I do see an impact on the stock price because of that. And that I want to see is, like, unfortunately with Blue Origin, there's no price, right? It's a private company.
Yeah.
But I can see that if Jeff Bezos beats Richard Branson, there's going to be a big impact on the stock price, at least for a short term. And
that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. And if somehow Richard Branson is able to make that flight, I can see the stock price going crazy. At least I can say it would double itself in no time. It's a press release company, right?
Sure.
They don't have a product and services now.
So that's great. So we'll just have to wait and see then. So that's all we can do. Just wait and see what happens. But fingers crossed that there is actually a flight, whether it's Jeff Bezos or Richard Branson. This is great for humanity, for progress, and everything else that goes with it. So Kay, from Invest for Tomorrow with Kay, I'd like to thank you for coming on board and being with us at Disruptive Wealth Creation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Steve. It was a pleasure.